Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to Never a Foul. I'm hoping you're having a good weekend. Friday, people, the day before the big games. It's the last 10 meters of this Premier League title race, top four race. It's 10. A lot of teams play 28 games, so I'm just gonna call it 10 games.
Yeah.
Basically,
The majority of the
Jess.
league. Yeah, 10 games.
But I get it, Jess. But how's everybody doing? How are you guys? I hope you guys are having a good day.
Yes.
I'm having a good day. I'm having a very good day. Having a good season as a whole. So, yeah, life has been good to me right now.
Yeah, we're here to talk about the games, guys. We're here to talk about the weekend. Briefly, each game, see how it goes. We don't see the future, but we do actually. So we're going to just tell you what is going to happen in this weekend. I'm here with Roms and I'm here with Jess from Armchair Gaffers. Make sure to give them a subscription, a like on their videos. Absolutely brilliant podcast as well. Roms, you can find on Twitter everywhere. He's on the Football Terrace. He's here with us. He's everywhere and enjoying his content. So there's only one place to start, which is bigging up the people that are already here. Of course, LB saying, smash the like, people. Please hit that like button for me. If you just joined, Luman is here as well. Star Lord, of course. And PKM CFC. Hello, guys. Smash the like button. Great panel. Thank you, everybody that joined us. We really appreciate you. And we are one place to start because I got a Liverpool guy and I got an Arsenal guy. It is the Liverpool-Arsenal game. Can the curse be broken? Is this the season that Arsenal can go to Anfield and get a positive result? And a positive result means winning. Not drawing, not losing 1-0. A positive means winning. I'm going to start with Jess and I ask you the question. How confident are you? Would you put your house on that game? Or would you only put $20 on it?
Extremely confident. I've done this twice already this week, a Liverpool Arsenal preview. Shout out you guys who done it yesterday, and shout out Jerry James done it yesterday as well. And I've been going for a just Arsenal win. But I've had a lot of time to think about this, and I've now changed my mind, and it's now a convincing Arsenal win.
Wow.
Simple as that. I don't want to say too much about it because we got to talk about all the matches. But if we look on the balance of play, on the field tilt, as they say nowadays in games, Arsenal are just too good. We're just too good all over the park. So much so that you couldn't pick out a weakness from this Arsenal team. And Jamie Carragher, one of your guys once, said that this Arsenal team reminds him. Sorry, bro. Rom said that this Arsenal team reminds him of the Liverpool team from 4 years ago, and I very much agree.
It is
Roms, how are you seeing this game? Let me just tell you something. Jurgen Klopp is not going to experiment. He's going to go back to his lineup, Trent, Robertson. Do you think he's going to experiment as well this game?
No, I think he goes back to type. This is my fifth. I've done this preview about 4 times on various different channels. After today, I don't want to hear the words Liverpool and Arsenal until the game kicks off. But Klopp will do what Klopp does. The thing is, what I would like to see is Arsenal are no Manchester City. The reason why they're sitting top of the table because they've been the best team this year. But against Man City at home, which seemed many moons ago now, he actually didn't play the high line. We dropped back 20 yards. He made the change of Gomez at right back instead of Trent. I would like to see similarities. That's the only way I feel we can salvage something from this game. I'm not looking forward to it at all. I think Arsenal are better than us in every department. I think they can beat us in a lot of various ways. But I'm not going to disregard. You'll get my prediction soon when obviously we round off this segment. But I'm not going to disregard Liverpool fans that are saying we can get something because the cliche words, this is Anfield. And we've games this season when we thought we wouldn't get something at home, no way from at home, we have. And I was even looking at our home form earlier today. I thought it was worse than what it actually was. I know it's only 2 losses the whole season, Real Madrid and Leeds, but I thought there was more draws in the home results. But there's actually not. Not that it has really a bearing on this game, because the difference with the United and City games, United are direct rivals. Cities have been our rivals, so we naturally get up for this. I can't see us necessarily getting up for this game. I know there's that cliche thing Anfield normally do, but if put like this, if the best Liverpool this season, if the best Liverpool turn up and the best Arsenal turn up, there's only one winner. There's only one winner.
But you don't lose at Anfield that often. Like Arsenal, like I think Man United came to you and lost 7-0. Man City came to your ground and lost. Even against Chelsea, it was 0-0 as well, but you didn't lose. But to be honest, yes, Arsenal are the best team. Yes, Arsenal are the best team in the country at the moment, but so did Man City. So were Man City when they came to your ground. Man United were miles better than you, were miles ahead of you, and then you beat them. I see this game.
That's why I said I'm not I know you're not a Liverpool fan, but any Liverpool fan that's saying we're going to get a result, and I'm not turning my nose up at it, because they've got logic behind it. It makes sense. We bar Real Madrid, we beat most of the big teams, bar Chelsea at home this season. But when we obviously get more into the game, I don't see how we win this game. I think we will have spells. We might have a spell where we're better than Arsenal, but over the course of the 90 minutes, I don't see how we sustain a performance to get us a favourable result. That's just how I see it.
Jess, I'm going to ask you a question. Do you think Jurgen Klopp is going to defend this game? I think we talked about this. Do you genuinely think that he will let go of his ego and defend like what he did against Man City?
Does he know how?
He did against Man City. 90 minutes of defending. 90 minutes of defending at Anfield against Man City. I think 28% ball position in that game, I guess.
How did that defending go? Go on.
They won 1-0.
That's alien to us, because I've called out Klopp a lot this season because he's tactically inept, but that particular game, he actually changed something.
Oh, you're not talking about the most recent game?
No, the most recent. No.
You see what he does? He's smart. No, we're speaking about Man City at Anfield in October, I believe.
Yeah, because when you say Man City and Liverpool, I'm thinking about the most recent game. If Liverpool managed to get ahead, me personally, on the whole, I believe, and let me know if I'm wrong, I believe that Klopp has one way of playing, which is this high energy, high intensity, highly rhythmic style of play at Liverpool, and that's all he knows. And if the players can't do what he's saying, we see inconsistency in Liverpool. With this Liverpool team, you don't know what you're going to get game by game. You can get a 9-0, you can get a 3-0 loss, you can get a 7-0 win, and I think that's the story of Liverpool. And just to agree with what you said earlier, if the best Arsenal, best Liverpool turn up, it's only going one way for me.
Hold on, you're saying if the best Arsenal turn up and the best Liverpool turn up, Arsenal are winning this game?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I don't know how are you guys saying that. I don't get it.
I'm not sure. Like I said, based on this season, I haven't seen many teams, because I actually watched quite a few games, and I haven't seen many teams this season play as well as Arsenal as consistently. Like Arsenal this season have been very convincing in all of their games. Even the Premier League game that we lost to Man City 3-1, we still dominated ball possession and the pitch as well.
I'm not doubting Arsenal, Jess. I'm not. Who am I to sit here and doubt Arsenal? Like after all these performances, like there's no. To be honest, anybody that doubts Arsenal at this point are just stubborn. Literally just stubborn.
They just hate. Yeah.
You don't want to like praise them just because you don't like them or something. But to say that Arsenal will go with the biggest odds to go to Anfield. This Liverpool team have proved me wrong every game they play at Anfield this season. So 2-3 games.
So I'm not disagreeing. This is just my thoughts. So if Liverpool were to get a result, where would the game be won? Because for me, let me just say, I believe for Liverpool to get a result, they have to turn up. Everyone has to be on their game, and Arsenal have to have about 4 or 5 players.
Not really, Jess.
Those are my thoughts.
Yeah, okay. But I disagree with you respectfully, because against Man City, the first game, when they played anti-City football, they actually missed about 2-3 chances. Am I wrong, Broms? Other
Yeah,
than the goal they scored, they actually
they
missed
actually did.
chances as well.
They missed actually quite a few in that first half because they could have put us to bed a lot earlier. But the way I see it is, for me, it's the mentality of Arsenal players, because I think the way Liverpool can get a result, this hasn't been the case with Arsenal players this season. But if they play the occasion and not the actual game, if they don't have to think. For me, they don't have to think about the actual Liverpool team. They're better than us this season, and everyone can see. But where I think Arsenal can have a chink in their armor, because these players, cool. I have them favourites to win the title. I do think Arsenal win the title, but in this running, they have never felt this pressure. Yes, they keep answering questions. I get that, but they still haven't. They still haven't felt this pressure. And the nearer we get to the end, the pressure's only going to intensify. So for me, and in recent years at Anfield, it's not really been, when Arsenal come to town. And big, because Grizz was also saying this as well. When Arsenal come to town, we don't kind of rise up from that. We do a City or United. It's normally an incident that triggers that Arteta riling up the Anfield crowd, or a tackle, or Arsenal going ahead that kind of riles us up. But I can't see the crowd really having a big important part to play, and that's alien when you associate that with Anfield, and that's where I think it will suit Arsenal more. But I just think it's more mentality for them. If they come out how they have been for the last 29, 30 games, I'm worried. The thing is, I normally back us at Anfield, but this one I just can't see it. But again, I don't disregard fans that say we can't get anything, because, like you said, Mo, Liverpool shocked me. My own club has shocked me this season against City and United. They've shocked you. They shocked many people. So, one thing I will say, though, and this is where Arsenal disrespect us, certain fans, not you in particular. Actually, yeah, you said it at the start of this stream. They're saying it will be comfortable. This is where I'm actually going to back my club. It will not be comfortable. I think if Arsenal win this game, it will be by a goal. It won't be by a 2-goal margin, 3-goal margin. I think it will only be by a goal. That is one thing I'm going to say, because when I'm hearing 3-0s and 4-1s, no. Remember where you're coming to. That's the only bit of chess I will have.
It can get ugly, Roms.
I'm just saying, I know we've got to do other teams. The reason why I've said the comfortable victory is because I just think that everyone's looking at Trossard and everyone's looking at Jesus and Saka and Martinelli. And I think that the X factor in this game could be Zinchenko for some reason. I don't know why I'm thinking that, and I think he's have a big influence. But we can move on from Arsenal.
No, but before we move on, 100 people here, guys, and we're not even on 100 likes. That's embarrassing. Please hit that like button, please. It's underneath your live chat. It looks like this. I don't want to show it again. It looks like this. It's free. It doesn't cost you a penny, but it helps us massively, massively, massively. Close the chat, hit the like button, and come back and chat with us again. I want to move on to the next game, which is the one that related to the title as well. Southampton, Man City. I don't think if there is anything to say about this game. I don't think Haaland is back. Go ahead.
Yeah, you're right. There's nothing to say about this game. I've only watched Southampton once this season. It was last weekend. That wasn't West Ham. Who did they play last weekend? Whoever it was, they were shocking. James Ward-Prowse is a bum. He's not a good football player. If he never had his free kick techers, he'd be nobody. He'd be Lee Cattermole, maybe, because he's got nothing to his game. Southampton are going down, and I'm not sure if they're ever going to return. So any Arsenal fans hoping that City somehow slip up tomorrow, just abandon all hope. No chance there.
So last season, Southampton, just to get it straight, last season, Southampton drew Man City both games. So they were able to get points off them last season. I think Southampton will get relegated, as Jess says. These are just my thoughts. I think Man City will smash Southampton in this game. There is not going to be a chance for anybody to do anything. I think this is where City actually increase their goal differential between them and Arsenal, because it's going to come to play, I think, at the end of the season, maybe. But there is nothing to say. Southampton are going to get relegated. If I can show you the table, I can show you the table.
Guys, I really like. Don't hate me for this year, but I want you lot to watch Southampton play. Not against Manchester City, because they're a very elite team. One of these weeks, watch them play. They are horrible. It's no coincidence that they're at the bottom of the league. they are a very, very bad football team. Who's their coach again? I forget their coach because they got someone new. But the mistake they made was getting rid of Ralph Hasenhüttl, who is a very high-level coach.
Ruben Celis from Spanish coach.
Yeah, but the guy before that, Nathan Jones.
Oh my God, the guy that said I'm the best coach
I
in the
think
world. What?
he has to own most of the blame, because I agree with you, Jess. I think they're a horrible club, but they have very good individuals, in my opinion.
No, factually, they do. Yeah.
And they have some City contingent there. They've got Adozie, who I rate. He's up and coming for once you haven't seen him. Lavia, he's going to go to a top six very soon. If City don't exercise that buyback clause, because for me, he has a higher ceiling than Calvin Phillips, so he can go back to City. But I think that's only exercised the following summer. They've got Mara, who come from the French league. He's not really hit the ground running, but I've seen a few games. He's quite good. Bella Kotchap, I rate Salisu. They've got good players in that team, but they just haven't had it. But I think Nathan Jones put them in the worst stead. He just wasn't playing the place he should have. And one player they made a mistake on was Nathan Taylor. Big up Burnley, by the way. I just see Burnley score.
Yeah. What's the score now in the Burnley game? Sorry, 2-0.
I don't know the score, but I just thought that they got promoted. But Nathan Taylor, I think they made a mistake with him because he's I know it's a lesser league, but he's on very good form. But I echo you two's thoughts of this game. I think it's gonna be a hiding for Southampton. I think Haaland gets a break. I think the type of batterings where you start to take your players off, because they got Bayern Munich 4 days later, I believe. So I think Haaland starts all of this. Will Haaland start? No, he has to have some minutes in his. He's not played in about 3-4 weeks. He has to have minutes in his legs. I think he comes on, gets a break. I think Pep takes him off at 60 minutes after he scores his brace. And I think City win this about 5-1. Honestly, I think they absolutely.
Also, I've really disliked James Ward-Prowse.
Why?
Very
Why?
much
I like him
because last year I heard people saying that his value is 75 million pounds.
That's crazy.
Last weekend, when I watched him play, the man refused to play any passes forward in a straight line on the floor in the middle of the pitch. Ainsley Maitland-Niles came on the pitch and got the ball and just played a simple 10-yard pass straight down the middle. And I looked at James Ward-Prowse and I was like, can't you do that as well? It's not every day free kick or penalty. Please just play normal football. And I believe that a lot of times in clubs, the big players are what hold you back. I believe that Harry Kane is holding Tottenham back, not because he's not good. Harry Kane is one of the best players our league has ever seen. I believe that Aubameyang was holding Arsenal back. I believe that Bruno Fernandes occasionally holds United back. So I think sometimes it's the big egos and the big characters in the team that hold them back, and he's one of them. And the sooner they're shot of him, possibly the sooner their fortunes change. But what do I know? I'm just a guy on the internet talking about football.
I actually think it's the other way around. Because he's so good in free kicks, and because he plays for Southampton, people only see the free kicks. I actually think James Ward-Prowse is not a bottom of the table player. I think he's a mid-table player. I think he's an okay player.
Sorry, Mo, our fan base I don't really.
No, he's not a top. He's not a top 6 player, Roms. He's
like a mid-table.
He's a mid-table player. He can comfortably play for Aston Villa. He can comfortably play for Fulham. He can comfortably play for a lot of teams in the league. The problem is he's so good in free kicks that people start only seeing the free kicks and like not see any of the other attributes. I think he's a good passer of the ball. I think he's a good leader. I just think that when I watch him, he is not that bad. Because it's not only you, Jess. I was listening to a podcast earlier, and they said he's only free kicks. Without the free kicks, he can't do anything. I'm like, he's a professional footballer.
By the way, look in the comments. Shout out Martin. He just said, "This is to you." He just said, "Higher ceiling than Calvin Phillips isn't saying much." That's actually true. Like,
it's true. I'm doing Lavia disrespect there, but you get the gist because obviously they loaned him. No, they sold him to Southampton because Calvin Phillips kind of was that second fiddle replacement to Rodri. That's what I meant, but. Yeah, you 100%. I agree with you.
He's one of the things about Hasenhüttl when he was coaching. People said that Hasenhüttl is the one holding them back, and they have been way worse since he left. Hasenhüttl, I like the football he played. He got slapped. Like he actually a very progressive coach, and they used to look okay. and then they said, no, we part ways because we can do better
He's
football.
a Champions League level coach,
Yeah.
and you sacked him for Nathan Jones. You deserve to languish in League
100%.
One.
They need to go down. Yeah,
need to
they
go
deserve
down.
100%. I 100% agree with you here. They really need to go down. I really now dislike them. But go to the next game. One of the games, the early kickoff I think it's a crucial game. Man United versus Everton. Is that at home? Did I do it wrong?
Everton,
Everton at home. So I did it wrong on the screen.
Let me just double
So
check.
it's
Wait, I think it's right. I think United.
No, United at home. Sorry, I just checked. United at home.
United at home.
Yeah.
Okay. So I didn't. So because I was looking. So Man United at home against Everton. Is there any chance Everton can get something out of this game? Did you see Michael King's goal against Spurs?
Means
What
nothing.
a
Means nothing.
strike!
What a strike!
What a
Guys,
strike!
Can I just say, for those of you who are unfamiliar with me, I'm a man who thrives off negativity. Okay, so I always like to start with something negative to say. And when it comes to Everton, I've got so much bad to say. So before I start on my hate speech, is there anything nice you guys want to say about anything?
Actually, I don't like Sean Dyche. I think Sean Dyche is one of the worst coaches in the league, in terms of the style of football, the way they play football.
This is what I like.
Actually, Burnley. I know that it's a style of football. I know that people think I like Italian football because it's defensively, but I love the Premier League, and I did not like Burnley. I had this say is like, please don't be Burnley, any team, please don't. They were ruined for it was kind of like, I know it works, but at the end it didn't.
You know what? I echo what most is. I feel like we like the similar types of football. I have to respect what Sean Dyche done, hardly spending any money and keeping Burnley in this Premier League. I will say that I respect him. Do I like him as a coach? Hell no. And the things in this country, we have a thing of, big, strong, hard, aggressive. That's not me. I like my Spanish type of intricate kind of football.
You like people who are good at the sport, right?
Yeah.
I actually don't like that style of football, but I like direct football with a plan, not lumping it forward and hoping that your big forward is going to put it down. That's not football.
Liverpool actually, in your pomp, were quite direct with a plan.
Exactly. Direct to the wingers, direct to the fullbacks, but this lumping it forward, hoping that your big guy is going to flick it to somebody. It's not football.
I watched his coach's voice, and at first I thought, you know what, this guy's kind of onto something. He was just explaining how he played his formations in Burnley and how he's going to transfer it to kind of Everton. But then I thought, no, this isn't football. But the thing is, Mo, I'm not going to lie, and I get this rebuttal. Someone said to me, but imagine if everyone played the same, how boring the sport would be. Styles make catches. And I do get that. So if it works for him, it works for him. But I second you, Mo. I don't like Sean Dyche. I never really have. I respect him, but I don't like him as a.
I really want Everton to get relegated. To be honest, last year, I really want. Since last year,
I wanted them to get relegated with Lampard because I don't like Lampard. That's my agenda.
Are they one of the 3 teams that never got relegated from the Premier League? Just 3 teams that never got relegated.
Arsenal, Everton.
I don't know how many. I don't know how many, but I know Everton and Arsenal have been relegated.
Yeah, I don't know the third team.
City Bias TV. You men keep dissing Phillips. We all know our players turn up in the second season, so carry on. I demand the apologies to be just loud next season.
Oh, City Bias. I didn't diss Phillips. I said Lavia has a higher ceiling. I didn't say I don't rate Phillips.
Absolutely. I never said that Calvin Phillips is not a good player. I just think Calvin Phillips is absolutely an amazing player, but he's not a Pep player. If he's at Man United, he would have been fantastic.
Yeah.
If he's at a Liverpool, he would be phenomenal instead of Fabinho because he breaks up the play and he plays the simple passing.
Also collects it from the back 4. He can,
I like Calvin, but some players are not like City players. Some players are not Liverpool players. It depends on the system you play. But I think people disrespect Phillips a lot just because of his weight, because of all the stuff. I like Phillips, to be honest. But anyway, people, can you please get me to 100 likes at least? Can you at least close the live chat? Live chat takes a second from you. It looks like this. Please hit that like button for me. It's underneath your live chat. It's not going to cost you a penny. Daps here is saying, salute to Mo, Jason Rams, to all the chat. Hope you all have a blessed weekend with your loved ones. Thank you, Daps. Of course, big up Daps, big up Daps. But City bias about Phillips. We moved on from City. But
hold on, guys. Can I just say?
By the way, let me just say something. Go ahead.
Oh no, go on.
I was saying that Actually, the most people, like the people that actually don't like Phillips, are Man City people. From most of the fans of
Yeah, I
Man
think
City, they
everyone else
say
appreciates.
he doesn't put in the effort. Pep called him out, so it's not only the other fans; it's also Man City fans. Like, so I think that City bias, the fan base themselves, they don't like him as much, and for some reason I don't know what it is, because he doesn't play well every time he comes on. Maybe.
I was
But
just saying, guys, and talking about Phillips and players that are overrated. I've actually got a segment on my YouTube channel right now. So Armchair Gaffer's YouTube channel, where we make our best 11 of the most overrated players to ever grace the sport of football. We do these every single Thursday. We've got like our best most overrated 11s, underrated 11s, and so forth. So I just put the link in the chat, guys. So if you want to see some overrated players, get over to Armchair Gaffers and have a butchers. Are we ready for some negativity now from me?
go ahead.
The
looking for
floor
your
is yours.
link. I'm looking for your link, to be honest.
I just commented. It should be in the comments. Guys, I said that if Scott McTominay played under Sir Alex Ferguson, his name would not be Scott McTominay. His name would be Darren Fletcher. I feel that Alex Ferguson has made a lot of people's careers who are just bog standard players. I also believe that if Fletcher played for this United team, then he will be Mick Fletcher and he wouldn't be regarded with any kind of clout whatsoever. Those are just my thoughts, guys. Call me crazy, but
You're right, because even that league type, the last time United won the league, the team that Fergie left them with, if you look at it compared to some United team, that was an average team, but he was making wonders, like you said, of standard players. But back to this game, United and Everton. United's home form's been impeccable. I think they've conceded the least goals in the league, Mo.
Yeah, 8 goals.
At home, yeah.
8 goals.
8 goals. So I can see this being a United win. I'll say a boring 1-0. I think they will just edge it. But Everton, for me, they just don't score enough. They're not as imposing. They're not potent enough. I don't know what it is. The thing is, I like their midfield because I like the way Anana, Jisagay, and Decore will be out for this game because I think he got injured. But
he's suspended.
Yeah,
he's suspended. Yeah, for the thing on Kane. But I think as a midfield three, they work well. But then you distribute it to your attackers, and they just can't finish their food. Morpay doesn't really get a game. Josh Sims isn't a starter. I think Dominic Calvert-Lewin returned to training today or yesterday, though. I did see that.
If the ball's on the floor, he can't play football. Yeah, unless the ball is 8 feet in the air, he's useless.
Iwobi's had a slight. I think he started the season excellent. He's had a slight. I don't know if he's had a slight dip in form with the team as a whole. And Damari Gray again. This is why he was a 1.5 million signing.
1.6, yeah.
1.6
because that's what it's worth.
Yeah, he had 3 flash games, and you're like, wow, and then you have like 10 in a row. That's quite bad. So
can I just say, see with regards to Iwobi, because a lot of the guys. Oh, look, I turned this down. Sorry, guys. See, a lot of the guys on my podcast think that Iwobi is actually a decent player who adds to the team. No. Guys, give me 5 minutes. Sorry, I'm gonna mute myself.
Fine. But yeah, for me, Iwobi, he's just. I think it's unfair to say he's had a different form. I think it's the team as a collective. But for me, Mo, Everton, I just don't feel will cause United any problems whatsoever. But then I just feel United without Casemiro, they will get joy in the midfield because even the Brentford game, I'd say United dominated the majority of that, but Brentford still I thought Jensen, Janhel, and Norgard, I thought they would do a bit more in that midfield, but they didn't as much. But I feel like if they really went for it, they could have caused United problems. But I just look at this game, a low-scoring United win. That's the way I look at this game.
After watching the Brentford game for the United people, I think, to be honest, they were so good in that game that I expect them to go and dominate Everton from beginning to finish.
To end, yeah.
And they are not going to do what Spurs did with Everton. They're not going to sit back. They're not going to give Everton a chance. I think they're going to control the game. Even with Fred and McTominay, I think they're going to control this game. Luke Shaw is injured, if I'm not wrong. We can check that. Casemiro's is Luke Shaw's muscle injury. He's coming back in late April. I think that will affect him. And maybe Sabitzer will start, but this is the predicted lineup. Ericsson is back.
Back,
Mustafa
yeah.
is saying he's going to be on the bench. So, yes, big plus for them. But we're going to remember that Ericsson has not played for a while with them. He needs some minutes to be back into the game. Uh, I know that we can talk about specific players, but I really want to get your opinions about Ten Hag. There are a lot of questions lately about Ten Hag's approach to some games. And I have a lot of people saying that Ten Hag without Casemiro is a fraud and he doesn't do things. I don't think so. I think Ten Hag is a good coach. I think Ten
No,
Hag is a very good one. He has a way of playing. I can see it. He has a footprint, but maybe the players are not the greatest. Maybe he needs more time with them. I don't know what you guys think about that.
any United praise makes me sick, but this is one thing I'm going to say about Ten Hag. This still isn't his full squad, to be fair. Yes, I understand the minute Casemiro comes out or suspended, there are question marks, but he, in my personal opinion, he doesn't want the Sanchos, he doesn't want the McTominays, he doesn't want the Maguires. There's still a lot of dross that he doesn't want there. And I think until he gets his starting 11 and his squad, so that's depth off the bench as well, you're not going to see the very, very best of Ten Hag. And that's doing him a bit of a disservice anyway, because he's going to get, in my
Luca, turn it down,
opinion,
please. Luca, no.
he's going to get top 4 and he's got a trophy as it is. But to answer your question, Mo, I think it's just a bit too early to be questioning Ten Hag. I'm probably going to judge him next season when he's got his squad, his players and whatnot. But that's what I'm going to say, because I hate giving United too much.
Are they in danger of losing top 4? Are they in danger of losing top 4?
Real danger. The only thing saving them is the fact that Tottenham are just so unreliable. Guys,
Good.
I'm undecided on Manchester United. I've never rated Bruno Fernandes. Okay,
Same.
I believe the only reason why he's respected now is because he had those 18 months where everything he touched turned to gold. And if you look at his numbers now, they're still decent numbers, like over his whole United career. However, they're weighted heavily because of his impact in those first 18 months. Okay. However, the other night against, who did they play a couple of days ago? Whoever that was, they
Brentford. Yeah,
Brentford. Yeah, because I respect Brentford. So I watched Bruno Fernandes and I was like, okay, I'm seeing a player here. And then I've gone back to my United friends and they were like, no, he was playing up against Norgard, some next guy and some other Danish.
But do you know what? To be fair, Jess, they've done well that midfield 3 that season. That's why I was so surprised that they got dominated by United midfield without Casemiro. Because that Brentford, the United fans that said, yeah, but they're playing against Brentford midfield. That midfield has been good. They're not sitting 8th for no reason. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm with you. But I'm not sure because I feel like when I watch United play, maybe it's my Arsenal hatred that takes over. But when I watch them play, I'd say 7 times out of 10, they don't look very good. They get the result, and it's usually, especially in the latter half of the season, thanks to a Rashford goal, which is occasionally against the run of play. But as a team, they don't have a style for me, which I think is very good. I said that they're very dangerous with Casemiro, Bruno Fernandes, and with Ericsson, because those are 3 players who get the ball and release it right away. And that's the kind of football they play. They get the ball and it just goes long from that midfield, the Hollywood Hail Mary kind of pass. But as a footballing team, they don't give me any hope. But you might be right, Rams, in the fact, sorry, I keep...
No, Rob, you got it right.
Yeah. Just flawless. But so
Sorry, bro,
you
but
think he's gonna build something?
I think he's gonna try. But like I said earlier on in the stream, when you have big players holding you back, I think one of those players that holds United back is Fernandes, and the other one is Rashford. Because again, guys, call me what you want to call me, I don't think Rashford is that good of a football player that we make him out to be. Okay, this season Rashford has scored a lot of goals, and those goals have come because he's been doing less. less dribbling, less take-ons, just more being in the right place at the right time to put the ball in the back of the net, like what happened against Brentford the other day. Okay, what's his face? The Sabitzer guy. Yeah, Sabitzer. Yeah, nodded it down, and he's just there to side foot it into an open goal. I know Sophia football talks. Okay, hear me out in the comments. How is he holding you back? Because he's someone that that has to play. However, he's limited. He's more impactful with that ball over the top when teams are playing a high line. When you guys are trying to play football and trying to build, for me, Rashford is like having a man down because he's not going to be in the build-up play, dropping deep, playing 1-2, spinning in behind, and then linking up play. He's only useful when the opposing team is playing a high line and you catch them either on a counter attack.
Can I counter that?
Please do. Like,
okay,
just like,
so I disagree with you about this. I think I agree with you with part. I agree with the part, and I disagree with the part. I agree with the part that he doesn't get involved in the build-up play, but I disagree that he's only a ball over the top player. I think he's one-on-one. I think the best thing about Rashford is isolation. Rashford is kind of like Sane. If you can isolate Rashford with one player, with a fullback, he will beat that fullback, and he will create danger. That's Rashford for you. Rashford is not a guy that will play when with the other team and build and small passes here and there. Rashford is a direct player. Rashford needs isolation on the side, one-on-one. He will beat a player.
I disagree with that. By the way, I'm seeing a lot of comments disagreeing with me, and I actually see where a lot of people are coming from in the comments. However, Rashford doesn't often beat players, stand them up and beat them. There are very few people in the world of football and in the Premier League that have that ability to stand a man up and beat them. That's not something that Rashford's there for. He's not known for his dribbles and his take on success rate. This season, he's known for his goals and goals alone. But looking at the comments, someone said that Arteta, Christopher Ward said that Arteta done this in his first year. Yeah, he did. I am going to support my Arsenal people here and say that Arteta's first year at Arsenal was also his first year as a manager. Okay? All right?
Yeah, I keep saying this. I keep saying there's a massive difference.
Do you know what, Jess, as well? You could still see an identity from day one. And you know where people disrespect Arteta?
Well,
he won that FA Cup against a Chelsea and City team that were 2 out of the 3 best teams in the country at the time with an Emery squad. So I disagree with you, Mo. I could see a slight identity of Arteta when he first came. He just didn't have in my opinion, didn't have his players. And it was always going to be a slow process. They're ahead of their schedule. This isn't about us, but they're ahead of their schedule. And once he has his players, you're seeing the fruits of his labor.
I think he learned on the job. I think Arteta in the beginning, I saw what he tried to do, but then he reverted back to like game by game thing. I think that was the season before last. And even last season, I think in the beginning, I think he tried in the beginning to play the ball that he wants to play, and it didn't work because he didn't have the players. But at some point, I really didn't see any identity for Arsenal. I think at some point, that second season for him, he lost the identity. I think because of the players, I don't know what's the reason. I'm not on the training ground with them. But even Arsenal fans were saying, okay, you asked the question, what is Arsenal? And people say, we actually don't know what are we trying to do on the pitch. Because there was the Aubameyang's, maybe there was a lot. And that when you ask that question and you can't find an answer, that means the coach doesn't have an identity, that's why now Ten Hag, because it's early, sometimes I see what he's trying to do, but sometimes he really goes so he goes like without a plan to the game, or the plan doesn't work and he doesn't change it. Stuff like this. Some things don't add up to me. Like some games he controls the game against a brilliant team like Brentford, right? He goes and he has the perfect plan to control the game, and they do control the game. And other games, he goes to the games and he doesn't. Completely loses the plot. The players are out of position, puts Bruno somewhere he shouldn't be. And I'm like, okay, what are you doing? Why are you leaving all your beliefs out of the door going into this game? What are you scared of? Stick to what you know. And because he knows Ajax football, all his years, he played the same brand of football.
I'm with you. Can I just say as well, Sophia talks football in the chat as well. So, like we said earlier, when Ten Hag gets more of his players, you'll start to see more of his style implemented to the team. He has had to adjust a lot this season. Yeah, that's facts. And on that subject, then, when we see him build his team, let's just say the next 3 years, yeah, he's built his team. Do we see Rashford in that team as United fans? Because
Yes.
you do, yeah. These are
No,
just questions.
no.
I'm not saying we don't. I'm just saying.
I don't
Cheeky,
think
it's a
you see Jadon
cheeky
Sancho.
question. It's
Oh,
a
no.
cheeky question. I know what you do. It's a
No, I'm
cheeky
asking.
question.
No, honestly, yeah.
That's you're too good at this, you know.
No,
Yes,
guys,
it's a cheeky question. Come
I'm
on.
asking questions because I must say as well, I must say as well, I really like your subscribers, Mo. These are some people, they're taking digs at me, but I respect it because they're making points. Not everything I say is right. I'm giving you my thoughts, okay? And if you want to crucify me for what I'm saying, crucify me on Jesus' birthday as well, or Jesus whatever, yeah, fine. But I've seen some things on Twitter that are 1,000 times worse than what I've said today. But I'm all for it. But me personally, okay, cool. So he is in the team, baby. No, it's too loud. No, please, I beg you, please, I beg you. So
Okay, by the time he fixes this, can we get the likes up, people?
Yeah.
So basically, yeah, if he is in the team in 3 years, where is he playing? Let's just assume it's the same. It's the same system, 4-2-3-1. Where is he playing?
I
Left
think he
wing.
plays on that left. Yeah, and he actually gets a proper striker that he wants.
Left
One thing I
wing.
will say, just that I would say in terms of players, one of their I think he's their first most expensive transfer ever, maybe even their second. One thing I will say is I do not think Jadon Sancho is there in 3 years. I feel Ten Hag doesn't necessarily like him. That's my opinion.
And that's crazy, bro. Yeah, I'm not
high
wrong.
Okay, we got 1 minute of this Man United talk. We gotta move to other teams.
I don't like speaking about them. I'm done.
Let's go. United fans, I like the way you guys came out and forced to defend your team. I really respect it.
But anyway, to be honest, let's just say that Man United should control this game and win it. One of the team, Wolves against Chelsea. It's kind of a tricky game for Chelsea. Podence, I think, got suspended because of the spit or whatever thing. I think Chelsea, let's talk about Lampard a little bit. The world has gone mad. The people that run Chelsea are crazy and they're mad. However, there is an explanation for this, which is I heard on the radio. It's not my take. I heard it on the radio. Someone said on the radio that maybe they want Lampard because they want to gain the confidence of the fans back. Because whenever Lampard is going to walk into the stadium, the fans are going to focus on him. The whole focus is going to be about Frank Lampard is back. And that would, number one, would remove pressure off the players. Number two, will get the crowd a little bit behind Lampard, the legend, Lampard, the welcome in Stamford Bridge. I think that's one of the things that maybe they're thinking. But coaching-wise and tactically-wise, this is mad. It's crazy.
And this brings on to my point, right? This is a manager who did relatively well with Derby.
No.
Listen to what I said. Relatively well with Derby. Got them to play a final, and then his tactics went out the window. Went to Chelsea, tactics went out the window. Went to Everton, tactics went out the window. For me, I'm calling this legend bounce. I think after they get the win against Wolves, because I feel like they do get the win against Wolves, I think that plane crashes. I think Real Madrid slapped them. I think they got Brighton next day, slapped them. And then they're running towards the end of the system. They're just going to plummet down. Because I think I'm calling it legend bounce. He has a bounce for one game. This one game against Wolves. Because again, for me, Wolves can't hit a barn door. Chelsea can't as well, but I think they're going to get a scrappy, I don't know, maybe a header off a set piece or whatnot.
Away. You reckon Chelsea will win away?
Yeah, scrap it like by a 1-goal margin.
I think Wolves will win this.
You think Wolves will win this?
Yeah.
I don't think Chelsea win this at all. Mo, what you said in the beginning is true. It's all true. All the focus will be on Lampard, okay, away from the players. But if they don't win, that focus will soon shift. I think there are 10 games left for them in the season. I think they have 3 games before everyone starts to turn on him. And this team as well, Chelsea, are in a precarious position because they must get Champions League football. They currently have 32 players in their first team squad. Okay, you can't run a train session on 32
Just they
players.
won't get a Champions League football. Just
Sorry, no Champions League, the other one of the other
Europa
ones.
League,
Yeah?
Europa League.
Conference one.
That one, the national, the Van
No, if they
Roma
get
European.
if they get maybe Conference League, you mean?
What I'm saying is, with their squad size, they currently have 32 players in the first team squad. Next
That's
season,
crazy.
they have at least 6 players returning from loan. Fair enough, you got Joao Felix and I think Zakaria going. Okay, so you're gonna have 4 more players coming in. Plus, you might sell 6 players. I've heard that they might sell 6 players. Okay, cool. So now you're plus 2. No, now you're actually minus 2, so you're on 28 players in your first team squad, but you're going to sign another 6 players, okay? For the good of that squad and team harmony, team unity, you need to be in every competition. You need to do what Liverpool done last season. You got to go all the way in every competition because that's the only way every player is going to be involved from beginning to end. However, other issues that's happened playing is that apparently the players are changing in the hallway at the training ground because there's not enough space. What do you want?
I saw a picture of their gym, and that's
a
more
joke.
packed than my the gym round the corner from my house after between 5 and 7 p.m. It was packed. But one thing I'll say with Lampard, right? I know a lot of people in the comments of the back in Mo, they think Wolves will win. There's no real logic to what I'm saying. I just feel like for one game, they're going to play for Lampard. Like the person said on the radio, Mo, he's a legend of the club. No one's really got... Even when he got sacked last time, there was a lot of resentment. Everyone's sentiment started to get to a lot of Chelsea players. Said, "Oh, we can't speak bad of it." Similar to what my fan base is doing with Klopp now. You don't want to speak bad on him. He's an icon of the club, legend of the club. So for me, there's no logic to it. I think it's going to be a stink fest, but I think Chelsea will nick a 1-0 off a set piece. It won't be glorious play. It won't be patterns of play. But one thing I'll say with Lampard, though, you saw what he did with Mount and Reece James. He does like to give the youth a chance. He will promote some of the youth. Even if it's for these last 10 games.
He had to, because remember, they had an embargo.
Transfer ban. Yeah.
He had to. They didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
Guys, can we just do a little exercise here? Probably an exercise in futility. Can we each go around and just name the best Chelsea 11? In a 4-2-3-1, I guess? Is that what they play?
I couldn't tell you.
Koulibaly, Parashili, Chilwell, Reece James, in the midfield, Enzo Fernandez, Kovacic, and Golo Kante. Up top, I think at this moment, Mason Mount on the left. Who else do they have? I actually forgot.
Joao Felix.
Joao Felix on the right.
Again? Who did you say?
Koulibaly,
Chilwell, and
Thiago Silva's injured. He's out. Thiago Silva's injured. So Parashili, Koulibaly, Chilwell, and Reece James. I don't like Kukurea as much.
Wait, don't you mean... Is this like when everyone's
now?
Fofana has to be in there for me then.
No, I think I know Fofana is good in a back 3. I don't think Fofana. I haven't seen enough from him in a back 4. So I think Padishili and Koulibaly are better for me. Koulibaly has been stepping up in the last 3-4 games. He has been getting man of the match for them. I think Joao Felix, and the problem is up top. Maybe I can play. Can I play? Can I play?
For me, the problem, I'm not going to bother naming a Chelsea team because it's just impossible. But going back to United very quickly, one thing I liked about Ten Hag when he came into United is who he took out of the team. Immediately, he got rid of, well, not immediately, but he's got rid of Ronaldo. He's got rid of Harry Maguire, Victor Lindelof, and Spider-Man. Okay. And he's gradually phased out McTominay and Fred. Fred hasn't even been playing recently. Well, hasn't been starting at least. I think the issue with Chelsea is that they're reluctant. They're outright refusing to admit that Conor Gallagher is since we're here. Conor Gallagher isn't even on James Ward-Prowse's level, and he hasn't got any standard attribute like free kicks or anything like that. And Mason Mount needs to play in a system that works for him because he's not a number 10. Okay. Yeah. Mason Mount is not number 10.
I want him.
Put him in a team where the manager is saying, "Hey, here's your asthma pump. Just go and run." Okay. So
so many good games. So many good games at that time. Which one? I have to watch 4 games at the same time.
I've seen your setup, Mo. You have your phone, your laptop, your TV, your PC.
No, seriously. But anyway, Chelsea. We think a Chelsea win. I think
Chelsea win.
I think Chelsea lose this.
Smash and grab.
Oh, by the way, Spider-Man is reformed. By the way, but when I'm just responding to Fergie's son in the comments. But when Ten Hag came in, Spider-Man wasn't doing what he's doing, but he's come back. He's gone to the mountains. He's returned, and he's not
Would
doing
you
bad.
say Spider-Man got caught in his own web when Ten Hag first came?
So listen, there's a big game this week.
I
To be
can't
honest,
wait for a particular game. I think you're going to say it, Mo. Sorry.
which one? I think
Spurs
the two
versus
games:
Brighton.
Spurs versus
I
Brighton.
can't wait.
What a game! What a game!
I-
Spurs are gonna get slapped at their
Yes.
own ground by
Yes.
De Zerbi.
Yes.
100%.
I think you're going to see, you've seen many of them this season, but you're going to see a De Zerbi master. I think this is one of the defeats that will live long in Tottenham fans' memories. I'm even going to go, if I even have to give a scoreline, I'm going to go 3-1 Brighton. But you know the ones that should have been more? You're saying it should have been a 5-1, a 6-1. Because I think Stellini's going to get completely...
Why do you sound so excited, brother?
Because I don't like Spurs.
I can't wait.
I love Brighton. I love De Zerbi and I love Brighton. I don't care about Spurs. For Spurs fans, I know it hurts, but I don't consider Spurs as a. I think Spurs are there because of the money and because of how good the stadium is.
Yeah.
I think, to be honest, without Harry Kane, Spurs are not in the caliber of like the high clubs, the top clubs. But anyway, one of the things that I won't be surprised if Spurs win this game.
Really?
I won't be surprised. I won't be surprised.
But how though? Because when I look at Tottenham,
that's what I was coming on to, just even though I think it will be 3-1 Brighton, but what I was next going to say before Mo went, I would not be surprised if Spurs just come out with a win. This, you literally never know what you're going to get with Spurs. They might just be up for it. First game back at home since the international break. They might just be up for this game. They just might.
They might.
Do you know what I mean?
100%
And the thing is, there's no
correct.
real logic to it. They will just turn up as a team, in my opinion. But they could. But Spurs are just... Because the thing is, for all of the criticism, especially me, I've given Spurs, and I'd say football fans in general, they're sitting... I think joint fourth. I think
yeah.
Spurs?
Yeah, aren't they?
No.
They're fifth. But same point.
No. Spurs are not. Spurs are game ahead of Man United and Newcastle, and they are 3 points behind.
3 points back. My bad, but cool. They were in and around fourth. They were fourth, I'd say, a week or two ago. So for as much as everyone's kind of criticizing them, they're still in that. I don't think they'll get fourth, but they're still kind of in that running. And this is the type of result you're like, wait, how did Spurs win that? To be fair, but with all that being said, Brighton better than.
Do we think Brighton can push for a fifth or a fourth?
Yeah, but guys, I'm very concerned because football repeats itself year after year after year. You always have this team that come out of nowhere and manage to get into Europe, and then they're in Europe one season, and then it affects their Premier League season, and the next season they're back in relegation. Look at Burnley, look at West Ham now. So I think Brighton, they know what's good for them, might want to take their foot off the gas slightly and just aim for like eighth and just miss out on Europe for their own good, but they're not going to do that. With regards to Tottenham, how do Tottenham win this game? Because like for me, oh my gosh, give me a chance.
A penalty,
yeah.
A penalty, a corner, a penalty or a corner kick.
For me, or Harry Kane, individual brilliance.
One of the things, but one of the things about this Brighton team is that they are not a big team. Other than Lewis Dunk, they're not a big team in the air. They aren't.
Danny Welbeck's.
Danny Welbeck doesn't play. Ferguson play, and he's okay. He's not the biggest, but Danny Welbeck and Ferguson, the defensively, they aren't. But that's one of the problems with this team. Literally, is that they're a short on the ground. Let's play ball team. You know what I mean? Street ball team. So, but again, one of the things that's about Brighton, I wanted to add something. Lewis Dunk is the one for me this season. Is the most improved player in the Premier League. I have never seen a center back that can play the football like Lewis Dunk. Was he like this before? I used to watch Brighton, but Lewis Dunk, he is amazing from the back. Like it's like he is like great from the back. To be honest, like I don't.
Nothing's changed from when they had Ben White at the back. Ben White, Burn, Dunk. Who was their left back? It wasn't Kukureya.
It was Dan Burn.
Oh, was it? Was he playing left back there as well?
There is a reason why Dan Burn went to Newcastle, because Dan Burn was the one who was playing all the time on the ground. Dan Burn knows how to build from the back. That's why he plays for
Yeah,
Newcastle. But Lewis Dunk was that him and Shane Duffy. You remember Shane Duffy? It
that's the
was
one.
like strong, long, and headers and clearances. And now Lewis Dunk looks like a world beater from the back. Like you can play him in the 18 under pressure, and he would just get you out of pressure.
Yeah,
Which
yeah, but
is
I've been seeing him do this for a while at Brighton, so I'm not surprised at all. I'm just looking at Tottenham and thinking, where do they go from here? I said
to
earlier on,
eighth outside the top six to
I'm,
Newcastle
talk-
take their
I'm
place.
talking about next season because Harry Kane's got a year left, and there's talk that he might sign this contract extension. Um, I think they need to just let that ship sail, if you ask me, and build. Because I think Harry Kane is possibly one of the reasons why Richarlison has had zero impact in the league. And I feel like if Harry Kane wasn't there, Richarlison would score more and provide more for the team. He wouldn't reach Harry Kane numbers. He's not going to score 20 plus, but I think the goals will be shared throughout the team. What are you pointing at?
Do you
Sorry.
think that Richarlison can take Kane's place?
No, leave him. Yeah, but he won't score Kane level of goals. He will probably get like 12 to 15 goals in the league. However, goals will come from elsewhere as well.
I think
What,
Richarlison is the Brazilian Calvert-Lewin.
you think so?
I think so.
I've
I
never
think
rated
he has an
from what
atrocious touch. I think his passing is really terrible. His dribbling is shit. I think if you tell Richarlison to run with the ball 20 yards, he might fall on his face. Uh, I don't think he's good at all. I think Richarlison was a mistake going into football, being a Brazilian footballer. I think I don't know. I haven't seen anything from Richarlison that tells me that he is a top level striker, other than goals here and there. The overhead kick that he did. I got my cousin did an overhead kick the other day. That doesn't mean he should play in the Premier League for Spurs.
Fair enough.
I said from Watford to Everton to Spurs. For me, I've just never really rated this guy. Yes, he'll have moments. I think because he's Brazilian as well, his profile's been boosted. That goal in the World Cup maybe added to it. But for me, I'm with Mo. I've never seen what the hype is about. You know, I don't know how true this is, but was it Ancelotti or someone told Richarlison he could potentially win the Ballon d'Or? I forgot what coach it was, but remember that story? So I think it was Ancelotti. But
At Everton, isn't it?
yeah. So it was Ancelotti.
He was never great at Everton. It's a lie. He was never great.
But
He
Mo,
was never a
because he
Brazilian.
scored them some clutch goals and late equalizers and late winners. That's where the hype came from. But I'm with you. I've never rated Richarlison ever.
Shane Long scored some clutch goals for Southampton as well. That doesn't make him a legend. Like to be honest, Richarlison is not that guy. It's a big mistake. It's a 60 million down the drain. Unless he develops somehow in the next year or two and be something else.
As bad as he is, I feel like he needs to be the focal point of the team he's playing in, and that won't happen at Spurs. He's not a wide player. Like see where Son or Kulusevski plays, he shouldn't play there because I don't know. Can he dribble? Is he fast? I don't know what his attributes
Exactly.
are.
What is he good at? Tell me what is he good at?
He might score a header. I know that for sure. He might.
But yeah, anyway, the last game of the day is, I think it's a good game as well. It's an exciting game. And I think it's kind of a decider. Brentford Newcastle. I know this is the last game we'll talk about today. It's Brentford Newcastle. Can Newcastle win this game?
Yeah. The Newcastle I've been seeing recently, for a long time, I said that the problem with Newcastle is that Saint Maximum is no longer needed. He's not important anymore because he does a lot of running, a lot of intent, but there's no end product. There's no goals, there's no assists. I think he heard me, and now he's actually providing more than just running and French African flair. He even got an assist on his left foot the other day, a cross for Callum Wilson. So I genuinely think, from what I saw with Brentford the other day against United, I definitely think that Newcastle can beat Brentford easily. Where was the game?
It's Brentford turf.
I
What is
actually
it called?
agree with a
What is
lot
the
of
stadium called? I don't know. The community stadium, is it?
Yeah, I just call it the Brentford Stadium. But Newcastle, I think with the momentum they have, clean sheet against United, that West Ham demolition, I think they win this. Because Brentford of recent, I thought they were flying until I actually saw their results. I like the way Thomas Frank plays, but when it's a results business. When you actually look at their results, it hasn't really been the greatest of recent. I don't think Newcastle will easily win this, but I can see maybe like a 2-1. But I think momentum will win Newcastle this game. I think Isak comes back into the fold after being initially rested. That was a really good goal he scored as well. Not a lot of players would have even attempted that. They might have played it to a player next to them, so he's high of confidence. Yeah, I think Newcastle win this. Not easily, but they win this game.
One win in 4 for Brent, 1 win in 5 for Brentford, and Newcastle are coming from 4 wins in a row. I like Newcastle. I like my brothers, the Saudis, that they are on the club. I'm not on the hype of like, don't get the Saudis here. I want the Saudis to make Champions League because I know they can invest in the club. I know that they can take this club to like top level, like exactly the Emiratis took Man City to top. I think if they do it smart, I think if they reach Champions League, I think they're going to invest wisely, and I think this club will go places, in my opinion. The only thing is, it's really, if you look at this Newcastle lineup, apart from Jacob Murphy, everybody else is good.
What do you mean apart from Jacob Murphy? Oh shit, sorry. I'll be right back.
I don't like Jacob Murphy, to be honest. Jacob Murphy for me is an okay player.
I think we like the same type of forward because I know recently he's been playing well, but this is another player. But I get confused with him and his brother. But Jacob was the one that was at Norwich, I think. It was Jacob. Yeah, for me, he's that typical English player that's got good industry. He runs a lot. He'll work hard, but he doesn't really have an outstanding attribute. Yes, I'm not going to disrespect him. He's played well for Newcastle recently, but we know the minute Almiron's fit, he comes straight back into that form. I don't even think Eddie Howe thinks twice, in my opinion, but I agree with you. He's playing well, though. Credit when credit's due.
He's playing well. I'm not saying he's playing bad. I'm just thinking that if you want to move forward, you gotta. I'm not sure if he's even a bench player for them. But anyway, Ivan Toney, Wissa. I'm a big fan of Buemo, to be honest. I'm a big fan of the Cameroonian. I love him. I like how he plays football. I think he's a brilliant footballer, to be honest, especially for Brentford. I like Janssen. I like Aaron Hickey. I think this Brentford team is fantastic, but I think Newcastle will win this game, even if it's at Brentford, to be honest. But I'm not sure if there are any other games worth mentioning. Oh, there is a 6-pointer, Leicester and Bournemouth. Well, no, this is. I don't want to talk about Leicester, to be honest. I don't want them to get relegated because I like Leicester because of the story that they did. But
I think that's got a draw.
I want Bournemouth. Nottingham Forest and Southampton to get relegated, and maybe Everton.
I want Leicester to go down. Very much so. I just think that story will just be beautiful. You know, avoid relegation, win league next year, and then relegated a few years later.
Wow, Leicester. I like Leicester. They have good players to be in that position, to be honest. I think they are the best team in that bottom half, squad-wise.
Squad-wise,
yeah, but the problem is Brendan Rodgers just really screwed them up.
I still think you're going to laugh, Mo, but I still think Chelsea have a better squad than Leicester.
Oh yeah, okay, sorry. Chelsea in the bottom of the table.
I'm playing with you. But what my 3 teams I want to go down is Southampton, because I think it's a disgrace that Jess alluded to earlier to go from Arsenal to Nathan Jones. They didn't even like him at Stoke. They didn't even like him in the Championship, and you'll bring him to manage a Premier League club. But for me, it's Southampton. I want the 2 South Coast teams. I don't like Bournemouth Stadium. I know it's weird. You know, everyone has their little football things they don't like. I don't like Bournemouth Stadium, the vitality. I just don't like it. And they beat my club the other day. So they actually, for me, they derailed. If there was any hope, it was if we had won that game after United, then I think a lot of fans would have been more confident. But they just knocked the stuffing out of us. So for me, Southampton, Bournemouth.
Nottingham Forest. Why would you want Forest in the?
No, that's English heritage, man. I want Forest to stay up.
Nottingham Forest.
2 times European Cups. You know that some clubs don't have that. Don't kill me, that. But I want them to stay up, man. I want them to stay up. The third, I don't know who I want to go down the third. I don't really care. And I know a lot of people watch this app probably screaming Everton. But as a London Liverpool fan, I don't really care for Everton. Like, I don't even see them as rivals. They're always inferior to us. I'm not from Liverpool, so I don't understand what it really means. But yeah, so I don't know the third team, but I do know the two South Coast teams, Bournemouth and Southampton, want to go down. The third one is just pick out of a hat. I'm not really too bothered.
Yeah. Anyway, so any last things before we end this? It was a good quick. Even though Man United took 20 minutes from us. Apologies, people.
No, by the way, I don't know Jessica Black. Just both happen to be called Jess and Sport Arsenal. Looking at the comments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there it is. Tomorrow we got the extra time debate at 9:45 in the evening, people, and Sunday rivals not virals. Thank you everybody that is being here with us. You got the likes of above 100, which is really appreciated. Thank you, Roms, for being here with me. Appreciate it, my man. And Jess, always pleasure. The multitasking dad, Armchair Gaffers, of course. Please, guys, go subscribe to Armchair Gaffers. Easy, great content in a studio, fantastic segments. You're gonna enjoy it. You're gonna love it. A lot of cheeky talk and cheeky questions and hot takes, and a little bit of banter, but also a little bit of reasonable talk sometimes. So thank you everybody that watched us. We really appreciate you. If you haven't hit that like button for us, make sure to do it. We appreciate you, and hopefully we'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you, guys.